Hello everybody and welcome back to yet another video. It is so good to see you again, and we're talking astral projection today and the easiest way to astral project. Whether you've had a spontaneous experience and you want to have another experience, or if you've never had a successful astral projection before but you want to learn how to do it in the easiest, most efficient way. This is the video for you, and in this video we'll be talking about my top 3 tips for inducing an out-of-body experience. Astral projection is obviously different from lucid dreaming, and lucid dreaming happens in our REM sleeping cycle, so we actually have to be asleep to lucid dream. But when it comes to astral projection, we can actually induce an experience in any state of consciousness. And after several years of trial and error and figuring out what works for me and the people that I have mentored and worked with, these are my 3 most important tips that I would recommend to anybody wanting to have an out-of-body experience. The first tip is to practice mind awake, body asleep. Now, this is a state of consciousness that we can enter in that's between falling asleep and remaining awake. You might be a little bit conscious of what's going on. You might know that you're in bed, but your thoughts will start to trail off and you'll start to kind of enter more of a hazy, dreamy state. Your thoughts won't be as clear. You might see some colors and flashes of light, maybe some dream scenes within this state of consciousness. And right between awake and asleep, that's the perfect state to remain in as long as you can, because if you can become conscious of your body falling asleep, then it will be so much easier to induce an out-of-body experience. I feel like so often when it comes to lucid dreams or out-of-body experiences, people struggle with staying awake. People struggle with actually inducing an experience because they either fall asleep or maybe they're not in the right state and they're too awake. So it's all about being in between being awake and asleep, and you can do this just by entering a deep meditation or seeing how long you can hold on to your awareness as you completely relax your body as it gets ready to fall asleep. There are a few signs that will tell you when your body is starting to fall asleep. Number 1, you will start to feel your body get physically heavier and you will feel yourself relax even more. You might also dip in and out of consciousness, so you might kind of lose track of your thoughts for a second, or maybe dip into sleep and you kind of wake back up, still with your eyes closed, but you're almost just coming back to your awareness. And this a lot of the time happens when we're either taking a nap, maybe when we're dozing off and watching something during the day, or when we are actually going to bed during the night. We'll enter sleep gradually, and in between wakefulness and sleep, you will enter this mind awake, body asleep state where your physical body starts to fall asleep as your mind stays consciously aware. So you will feel your body get heavier, you will maybe lose your train of thought or maybe dip in and out of sleep, and you will start to experience some form of imagery, whether it is dream scenes, whether it is just colors, flashes of light. You will notice a different type of activity as you kind of slip into this half awake, half asleep state. There are a few benefits to practicing this mind awake, body asleep state, and number 1, you'll be able to make your lucid dreams and out-of-body experiences last longer because you're building focus in this mind awake, body asleep state. Maintaining that focus and awareness as your physical body falls into sleep, you'll be able to induce lucid dreams and out-of-body experiences at will, because a lot of these experiences happen in deep states of consciousness when our conscious mind is closing and our subconscious mind is open. And a great time where this happens is right before sleep or even in REM sleep. So if you ever wake up right out of a dream, getting good at this mind awake, body asleep practice will allow you to induce a lucid dream using the 𝘿𝙊𝙐𝙍 technique, which is wake induce lucid dream. So inducing a lucid dream from a waking state without having to go to sleep. First, being fully conscious and inducing a conscious dream at will become so much easier if you practice this mind awake, body asleep state as well. The second tip is to practice switching your perception in your imagination. So when it comes to inducing out-of-body experiences, a lot of it is separating from this physical identity. And if we believe that we are our body and that we can't separate from it, that alone is going to hold us back. But we want to start seeing what it would feel like to be outside of our physical body, what would it feel like to switch your perception from where you are right now to a different area? Now, I talk a lot about this on my channel, and this is also a form of the target technique when it comes to out-of-body experiences. And this is really selecting a specific target or area in your environment and almost in your imagination seeing what it would be like to stand or be in that area. So to do this, you can either do this during a meditation where you're sitting now, or maybe even for an out-of-body experience technique when you wake up during REM, or you're trying this before sleep, or whenever you want to practice this technique. Really, this will really help you with inducing out-of-body experiences. You're going to lay down somewhere, completely close your eyes, and if you want, before this, you can choose a specific environment in your house and walk over there and see what it feels like to be there. What does it smell like in that area? What can you see? And basically, when you are in a meditation, just closing your eyes and relaxing, you're gonna imagine that you're actually standing in that area, and you want to do that until it feels really real. And again, the brain doesn't know the difference between something that you're imagining, something that's actually happening, and even something that you're dreaming about. So if you are laying in bed and you are imagining standing in your kitchen, if you can imagine that with as much detail as possible and actually feel what it would feel like to be in the kitchen, textures, the environment, just the feeling of being there, the smell, the more vivid you can make that experience, the more it's going to convince your brain that you are actually in the kitchen. And you will notice this visualization, this mental rehearsal begin to get more real and more real until you actually believe that you're in the kitchen. And this is a wonderful technique for out-of-body experiences because it gets us used to separating from our physical body in consciousness first. And so it kind of preps us for inducing an out-of-body experience. And you may just be practicing this for a while, but there's going to be one time where you do this in particular where you're either in the vibrational state or you just induce an out-of-body experience directly from doing this technique, but you will feel a shift to that specific area or target eventually. Now, it's almost like you just open your eyes and you're in a different area. It's very surreal. Having an out-of-body experience is such a weird feeling. And the previous technique, getting better at mind awake, body asleep, the previous tip, that's going to help you actually maintain your out-of-body experience and make it last longer. So definitely practice the first tip, and it coincides with the second tip, which is practicing switching your perception or separating your perception from your physical body. And I do this technique all the time, and you can even just practice it in meditation and see what it feels like to actually separate in that way. And see how good you can get at it. See how much you can actually convince yourself that you're sitting or standing in another area of your home when you're in meditation. Third tip is to practice and explore meditation, liminal dreaming, and your sleeping cycles. So let's start with meditation. Meditation is an incredible tool because it allows us to turn off the conscious mind. It allows us to become mindful and present and to enter a deep state, to separate from our thoughts that can distract us, and it allows us to build focus, visualization, presence. It allows us to tap back into the breath, and these are all things that are really beneficial for lucid dreaming, out-of-body experiences, and just entering really deep states of consciousness. The better you get at meditation, which really just means maintaining your focus for a specific amount of time and really allowing yourself to surrender to the experience, the better you get at that, the easier it will be to induce lucid dreams and out-of-body experiences. And I've also noticed that the more I meditate, especially before bed, my dreams, I have more awareness in my dreams, and I also remember more of my dreams as well. And of course, when it comes to lucid dreaming, a lot of that is awareness and tapping into the present moment, because we have to become aware in order to lucid dream, right? So meditation is the perfect practice for that will help you build more natural awareness that you can carry into the dream state. So meditation is an incredible practice, and in order to induce a lucid dream or an out-of-body experience at will, you usually do some type of meditation, and meditation can come in several forms. So just play around with that and explore it. Explore what that looks like for you and what types of meditation affect you differently than other types of meditation. The second thing we touched on is liminal dreaming. So liminal dreaming kind of happens in the same state as mind awake body asleep does at first. We can actually become conscious in deep sleep as well. But when we're first practicing mind awake body asleep, we're going from a completely conscious state, we're going into light sleep, deep sleep, and then we start going into our REM cycles. So we can actually become conscious in basically any stage of sleep, because there's a part of us that can stay awake as our body is sleeping and going through these sleeping cycles. But with liminal dreaming, it happens in the hypnagogic, in the hypnopompic state, which is between wakefulness and sleep. Right before you fall asleep and right as you're waking up. Those are the two liminal states. Hypnagogia, which happens as you're falling asleep, and hypnopompia as you're coming out of sleep. You'll notice a very specific state that you enter before you fall asleep and as you're waking up. You might see those colors that we talked about, those flashes of light. You might remember your dreams very vividly in this state. You're awake, but you're also in a very relaxed state. You're in a slower brainwave than if you were just up and ready for the day doing things. So that state, there are so many benefits to that. It helps with dream recall, it helps with creativity. It's kind of a meditation in itself, and consciousness is such a spectrum that I feel like liminal dreaming allows us to explore these different states outside of just lucid dreaming and being awake. There's so much in between that, and I feel like liminal dreaming, or practicing consciousness or conscious awareness in the hypnagogic and hypnopompic state, allows us to explore that on a deeper level. It also allows us to induce lucid dreams or out-of-body experiences at will. So instead of waiting for them to happen and just having these experiences spontaneously, building these tools and learning how to stay aware as you enter these liminal states will allow you to enter these experiences consciously, especially lucid dreams as well, because if you're already conscious going into your REM cycle, you're going to carry that awareness into your next REM dreaming cycle, which will obviously mean that there's a very high chance that you will have a lucid dream. And liminal dreaming, you don't have to be asleep to experience, which is really cool. It makes it really, really accessible. You can do it really any time of day. Anytime that you can slow your brain waves down, close your eyes, completely relax, and just pay attention to what you hear, just pay attention to the surface you're lying on. It's just a very present type of relaxation state. You're not even trying to maintain your focus or anything, you know, it's not like a mindfulness meditation. You're really just allowing yourself to relax and just noticing what comes up. And you'll notice those random thoughts and ideas that come in as you're falling asleep. We can enter that same state during the day and get a ton of information, and also practice really cool experiences like lucid dreaming and out-of-body experiences. So liminal dreaming is definitely a plus. Practicing and exploring sleeping cycles. What I mean by this is getting familiar with your sleeping cycles, how they work, how they feel, what type of experiences you have in different states of consciousness, different sleeping cycles. Can you stay conscious as you're going into REM sleep? What about deep sleep? What times do you usually fall asleep and what times do you usually wake up? Just studying how you sleep will be incredible for your lucid dreams and your out-of-body experiences. The more you know about the unconscious side of yourself, the more you'll be able to use that to your benefit when it comes to astral projection and lucid dreaming. And a lot of these experiences are very accessible during our sleeping cycle because we enter different brainwaves and different states of consciousness throughout sleep. So it makes the veil thinner, so to speak, for some of these experiences. So playing around with sleep, especially because it's different for everybody, so your specific recipe to success is going to be a little bit different than someone else's, but really getting to know yourself and your sleep will be tremendously helpful for your lucid dreaming and your out-of-body experience practice. So just to recap, my 3 tips are to practice mind awake, body asleep, practice switching your perception in your imagination, and practicing and exploring meditation, liminal dreaming, and your sleeping cycles. So I hope you're ready to start inducing out-of-body experiences, because these 3 tips will definitely make it so much easier. And if you want to go on a year-long journey with me starting December 5th, then definitely make sure to check out my new course series, the Astral Project. In this series, the Astral Project, I'm going to take you step by step into the world of out-of-body experiences and beyond. In this 12-month program, you will learn the common myths of astral projection, how to prepare your body, mind, and space for astral travel, how to liminal dream, how to experience conscious sleep, how to dissolve astral projection fears, how to create an astral altar, how to induce out-of-body experiences at will, how to astral project from a lucid dream, how to build control and focus during astral travel, and how to use astral travel for healing and self-transformation. During these 12 months, you will have access to 12 full classes, 1 a month, live meditations, dream circles, a group chat for the full 12 months, group coaching, as well as one-on-one coaching. The Astral Project starts December 5th, so please reach out to me if you have any questions or you would like to reserve your spot in this course series. I'm so excited to start another year-long series, and I've never done a full year for out-of-body experiences before as far as a course goes, so I'm so excited to go on this beautiful adventure with you guys. If you like the content that I create, make sure to subscribe, and if you like sleep music or you're looking for some sleep music to help you sleep soundly and dream lucidly, then check out my second channel, The Lucid Mystic Sleep Music, where you can find nightly lucid dreaming and out-of-body experience binaural beats sleep music. Thanks so much guys for joining in this video. I love you so much, and as always, I'm sending you endless love and endless lucidity.